Hey guys, John and Amanda, this is Johnny, DayTraderRockStar here. And I'm going to try to walk you through some of the basics of getting the Rockbot up and running on the platform, the Ninja platform. I think the first thing you have to make sure it's a paid version of Ninja, that the scripts don't work on demo versions. And I do believe that you just said it was, you got the license or you applied and or whatever payment process you took, you could get the lifetime license, or you could do a monthly thing. But I believe that's the prerequisite of this whole thing working out. You have to have it on a working account for the scripts to run. Now, if you do have that and you download NinjaTrader, I would download the NinjaTrader platform, Ninja Trader workstation. I guess it's the platform that goes onto your desktop computer or your laptop. It goes on. It's not a web-based platform, so you have to have the software. So that downloads, and then you should be able to put in your license. Now, the license. Let me see if I could. Make sure you can see all this. Oh, there we go. I'll just put it here. This is your panel that comes up when you start NinjaTrader, and from that point you could you can open up a chart. That's how you start your charts. From this point on you could start the script builders. Let's see here, some other things. So, but the important part now is you have the basics. This should be up and running. You're going to have depending on who you're going to feed this, you have to feed this with a connection. Now, lots of times you open up the NinjaTrader account and they'll have their own NinjaTrader data that would be on here. I don't have it on here because I wasn't configured. I didn't use it, but it would be under it would be under a list of all here. All the NinjaTrader, Rhythmic, TD Ameritrade. Excuse me. So even TD Ameritrade, that's kind of good because I have a TD Ameritrade account too on this. I think I was testing it out at one point. Maybe I wasn't. That's good to know. A lot of different options, but you have to have a feed, quote source. So however you set that up, I have an IQ feed. You could have the NinjaTrader quotes, or you could do Ameritrade. If you have Ameritrade and you connect, you just put in your password and it connects, and everything gets connected, and it'll show up as a connection right here, and it'll have a little green. That's the important thing. It'll show up. You'll hear a little gong, a little bell telling that it connected. So I'm going to try to connect this one right here. Let's connect the Coinbase one. See if you could hear that. I wanted you to hear it. Let me disconnect it. Let me connect it. So you hear that? That's what you're going to hear. So you want to make sure your connection is up and running. All right. Pretty much that's the basics of getting it up and running, making sure. Now, to get the Rockbot running, you're going to go to Tools. All right, so you're going to go to Tools, and we're going to import the Rockbot scripts. It's going to be called a Ninja Script add-on. But before we do that, we're going to go to. Let's go over here. Before we do that, that's where we're going to do that. We're going to go to the website, and you probably already did this. Scroll down, go to Rockbot add-on. That's the Rockbot channel. I should put down channel here, but Rockbot, that's the code one. We had to make that easier to understand and go up right up here. And if you have access to the Rockbot, if you have the membership, the lifetime, and you get the code, you should have access to where to get the code. And here it is in the index, and go to Rockbot, click on that, and here it is. Now I would recommend doing try to do the Rockbot 23.zip. All right, so you're gonna download that onto your desktop. You're gonna click on that and save as. I forget how you do that. Yeah, you just click on it, and it'll download onto your desktop. Whatever folder you have it going to. In my case, it just goes to download. You can see that right here. So I just saved it, went to my download little folder there. Alright, so that's where that went. Now there's other things here, the template instructions. We can get to that second. Let's make sure everything else is working. Rockbot 23, download it onto your desktop or wherever it is. And then we're going to go back to the NinjaTrader. Now remember where that file is. That's that's the file we're going to grab. So you go back to your NinjaTrader dashboard here, go to Tools, go to Import, and import NinjaScript add-on. Click on that. It should pop up here. Something will pop up here eventually, hopefully. Oh, maybe it's over here. There it is. And there's the my latest file. So I'm going to click on that file. It should remain in zip format. It's saved in zip. You don't unzip it or anything. Just click on it, and then click on Open. And now what I'm doing is I'm importing the scripts into your NinjaTrader platform. And it should come up with a window. Hopefully, successfully imported the scripts contained in the NinjaScript archive file. Perfect. And now, to hopefully you have the green light, the transfer of the script going into your import. You don't have to. It'll automatically import it into the. It knows where to go. And now you're good to go. So now you would kind of probably open up a a trading chart. It really depends on what you want to do it from at this point. So what I normally do, let me bring this up here. All right, you bring up a chart. The chart data is, and up here where it says instrument. In this case, we'll use the MES June contract, which is the upcoming contract. And then just hit OK. Everything, just let this go. Don't have to worry about anything there. Just hit OK. And then a chart should pop up here. Now, chart automatically has a position in it because it's opening up in a sim account, and the Rockbot is set right now to work overnight in sim motion. But you're going to get this. You're always going to get it in sim. If you want to trade with it live, you're going to open this up and you're going to go down to your live account, be it in my case Interactive Brokers or something like that. But there'll be you could make these other accounts just to use and stuff. All right. Let's see what we have here. All right, so we got this up, and now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to run a script. You want to run the script again. This is constant. We always talk about what the script represents. The script represents a divergence, and we're searching for a divergence. Some other scripts represent the bull and bear flags. Then we have the quad reversal, kind of a timing thing. But all these are subject to market conditions. Meaning the tools are great, but you have to have a little feel for the markets before you just let things go. You can't, it's understanding the markets and using this as a tool. When I developed this, I developed it as a tool not to trade, but to wake me up. I had it as an alert, and I said, well, I could even add a trade. But in the beginning, it was kind of an indicator that would give me an alert. It'd send me an email. It would buzz my phone, and it would wake me up in the middle of the night, and I would look at the 5-minute divergence, see if I wanted to trade it. And then eventually, it was like, all right, well, let's set it up like this so you could trade it, and it was just as easy to do that. So we got this set up here now, and it works. It identifies great setups. It's in a great setup right now in the long. But your parameters are all based on your preferences. So you're going to have different results on the way you set your parameters. This is a directional turning point.
Tradometer YM over bot.
This gives you great moves when you have a divergence like this. We call the divergence right here. And you can see divergence long, the tradometer. I said, look at that candle. Look at that. And that stop comes in perfectly right at the low of the candle. So that's how this thing is going to set up. It's going to point those divergences out. Wow, look at this market.
Order filled.
Just hit first profit. And you can see that the stop here is trailing it, pushing back up a little. Now, again, the stop could go up faster. It could chase it up closer. It's really up to you and understanding the market conditions. The market's not giving you a tight range. You're not looking for 3 to 5 points. Maybe you're looking for 1 to 2 points because the market's not giving you that. It's maybe very choppy and you keep on not getting to your target. Or, it's just very difficult. So it becomes much easier. The setups will typically work. What sometimes makes the setup void or anything is either news or you're going against a trend and you're not getting a full, an overbought level. Typically an upward trend is going to give you a much better follow through and more momentum versus a bounce into very negative action. That little bounce is not going to give us a lot and it's going to turn over fast, especially when you get up to that 80 mark. So the bot sounds great, and it does give it, but each setup, this is a great setup right here. Sometimes overnight you get these very choppy set levels, but again, it's all about the how tight you want to set your stop. I'll explain that stuff a little and show you how to set it up. So what you're going to do is you're going to go over here. All right. I want to start with a clean palette here so it doesn't get confusing. So let's take this off the let's see, this is just mimicking something else that's running on my machine. Let's just put it on there, crypto here. Or Super Signal 5. All right, we're just going to leave that. It's one that's not being used. Now again, this could be your regular account too. I could put it on interactive brokers, but I just want to show you here. So you have the chart here. Now the chart doesn't have a watermark, and I find that you have to look up here. But I have an indicator that you could download from that bot package. When you go back, download some more stuff, or upload some more stuff into your machine. You're going to upload the indicator package. And it'll give you the same instructions. Do you want to upload a strategy script, or you want to upload an indicator? You pick the indicator. And then it'll give you the watermark under indicators. Indicators is this little thing there. And I just go, should pop up in your indicators, and that enables me to actually put a, I could put a, what do you call those things? Watermark.
Order filled. Order canceled.
Order
Watermark
canceled on the chart. And I can make that brighter and stuff. It's all under your indicator. Right here. I want to make it a little bit brighter. All right. So now we want to set up a. So you're going to go to your strategy little box here. It's up here right next to the lightning bolt or the zigzag line, which is your indicators, and that is strategies. All right, when you bring up your strategies, you're going to see over here available strategies, and this is where you're going to see the scripts that we downloaded, plus some other ones that NinjaTrader stocks for you. There's some basic like samples. You'll see some samples and stuff, but you won't see all these. This is my computer that I build these things on, so I have a lot of other scripts that I'm testing. Most of them are testing the different versions of the ones that you have. I keep files of it, so it just happens to be all here. I'll show you the ones you get just to make sure you know what to look for. All right. So I'll start on the bottom. You're going to get the Thunderbird buy, and that's your basic divergence signal. That's your buy divergence signal. If we click on that and add it, it'll drop down here and it'll show you a bunch of parameters here. All right, now again, these parameters are first first profit, 8 ticks. You could change this, and I would I recommend changing. Change on what the market conditions are giving you. This is a great, like Tesla, self-driving, but would you be willing to fall asleep at the wheel on something? No, you don't want to put too much trust in things, especially with this, especially with the volatility. Other bots out there, automated trades, algorithms that are running rapid in the market. They search out stops and platforms that already place their orders out there. They know where those orders are. So you don't want to get, sometimes it's even better not to give yourself a wider stop instead of a very tight stop, which you can. You'll put a stop in at 4. You'll get stopped at 5 ticks. That's the game you play. This is a tool. It's not meant to, to turn it on and cash is going to come in. You have to know when to use it. But when you use it, it makes things so much easier of making money. It's giving you those opportunities. But I wouldn't use it at night, overnight, or like tighten up, run it in sim, do some back testing on it, try the different parameters. If your computer's really good, then you'll be able to back test this and optimize it. Your optimization platform on NinjaTrader is really good. Where if that's at one point you want to do this, and if you have those resources on your computer to do this, you could optimize this, and it'll tell you which numbers to put here based off of the historical, how far you're looking back. It'll give you the best outcome. 5-minute chart is better than the 1-minute chart. The 1-minute chart tends to be choppier, so you have to adjust your levels and adjust your profits and stuff. The 1-minute time frame sometimes you go from oversold to overbought very quickly, less than a point, sometimes 2 points, and you're barely getting your 8 ticks, and it comes back down, and just so you're getting the upside bounces, but you have to know what conditions you're trading in and adjust it. It's a great thing to have this, and it takes faster entries. Lots of times it takes the emotion out of the trade because you're just if it's a divergence, I say take it. If it's a clear divergence, I would definitely go right back here. We just had a clear divergence. I don't know if I can drop that down there for a second. You can't even see it. It's actually, it picked it up on the Rockbot on the long side. Let me see if I could. I can't bring that over. Anyway, it had a great 1-minute, 5-minute divergence, and that's kind of a super signal. So here's the excuse me. Too much talking today. So here's your parameters. First profit, the lot here represents how many contracts you're going to be holding. It could be 1, 2, 5, 10, 100, 15,000. And then this is how many ticks. And then again, 4 ticks on the MES, 4 ticks to a point. So this would be 2 points. Everything goes by ticks. If you want to trade stocks with this, a tick represents 1 penny. So if you put in Apple on this, and you run this on Apple, which is a great idea, running on the 5-minute time frame, you wouldn't have 8 ticks. You would think of as 1 tick being a penny. Maybe you want a 50-cent target on a divergence, of a 50-cent target, or a dollar target. Well, 50 cents would be 50 pennies, which would be 50. So that's what you would put down there. Take profits on 50 cents or 50. If it was a dollar, you would put down 100. If you want to take profits after a bounce to a dollar, you would put 100 down there. So just think of these as pennies. Same thing with the stops and the trailing stops. And the lots, lots are the shares. Everything else here you could, and then you have to pick your input series. What should automatically be on the chart. So if you trade in Apple, say you're trading Apple, this will show Apple. You don't have to worry about it. But in case you want to change your time frame, like I said, the 5-minute time frame is better than the 1 minute, just because this is such a great setup, the divergence, and it's so strong in the 5-minute. In this market environment, when things are so choppy, it's kind of better sometimes to give that a little bit more range. But you have such a good divergence. It's a rare divergence. It's kind of rare doesn't show up as much
Order
as the 1
submitted.
minute, but when it does,
Order filled. Order submitted.
they're the biggest
Order
moves.
submitted. Order submitted.
we just have a little divergence here again. So, and then again, experiment with that, and then you want to turn it on. Make sure it's on. Make sure this is on the chart that you're running it on. So, remember our chart said, what did our chart say here? I got to move this. I wonder if I can move it. Our chart was Super Sim 5. So I want to move this to Super Sim 5, which I just made these up. You can make up as many like demo accounts, sim accounts to test things out. So you could make up and just call them, well, these are from different indicators that I was testing. 1 minute. Some that are actually being built out right now. I actually have a good one called Momentum Trader, which I'm really excited about. So where was I? So so make sure you're on that 5, the Super Signal 5, and then there's an enable checkbox here, and then apply it, and then it should start right up. You'll hear. Let me see if you hear anything or not. I forget. No, you don't hear anything, and there it is. So it'll backfill the setups. And again, this is kind of too choppy for this. Again, I warn, don't use it during chop, because then you have, this was the what we call the parameters. When you get the parameters that are already in there, now you have to, if you go and change the parameters, you have to enable or disable it by clicking the enabled box, so there's nothing in there, and then apply, and then your parameters will come back. So this would be a big difference if you were trading a choppy market in the middle of the night and it was going back and forth, maybe by a point or two. Set that to 4. Set that to 4. Let's see what happens. And then run it and see what the results are. And then that's a good strategy to use. So some of them got hit. This is very choppy here, and this one hit. This one went sideways, nothing, and this one had a nice profit all the way up. And that's where we left off. But again, you can see how busy it is. Very busy. Let's put in the 5-minute time frame here. And that's one way of seeing if the divergence long. If I change this to the 5 up here, it should automatically just put in the 5-minute divergences. Now you can see how good these levels are. Just kind of looking at that bird's eye view of it here. Not taking out the charts, not looking at the chop that happens at this point, but the overall areas, give or take a point or two. That's what the 5-minute is. Gives you the bigger moves. Look at this low. This was a nice bounce here too. All these worked out basically, because you have time now. It has much better time to go. This one looks like it chopped up here, but eventually moved. You're going to get these areas, and that's what you have to realize. If you could fight through the chop, you can fight through the emotions of just letting it work, then let it work. The market is tricky. Sometimes they see things. It comes down to a psychological level and takes you out. Try to see ahead of that. Plan out your. Say, I know what this market's doing. It wants me to do this. I'll do something different. It works that way. It's funny. So this is going to give us good entries, and you can set it up and run it. So that's how that's as easy as it is right now. Excuse my cough. I've just been talking all day. Like I said, hopefully this helps you get it at least started, or at least find out where we ran into problems, and then I could do a more detailed level, and we could get together if we need to on Friday. All right. I hope this helped, because I just got this level done, and I wanted to get it to you before not too late. I'm probably a little late on getting this to you, but the good 5-minute. That's the other thing. I just want to stress: be careful with it. Things are sometimes, these are set levels. The market sometimes flushes due to news. That's why it's always important to have a stop. It's also an automated thing, and I can't guarantee any failures of the internet and stuff like that, which will probably mess things up, or anything with the NinjaTrader. That's why it's actually kind of given to people free, who are lifetime members. It's a work that I want to share with people and help makes their trading better. And I always update it, and it'll get better and better. I mean, just to get in the quad rotation. Now, let's take a look at that. Let's just go back to the. Say you want to run 2 scripts on it. So the other, I was going to tell you what scripts you're going to have. You're going to have the Thunderbird. All right, it's called the Thunderbird buy. Then you're going to go up, and look for. See these other Thunderbirds. These are test ones and some early adapting things. So don't go to, you're not going to have any of these. I'm looking for my Rockbot short. Thunderbird, 1 minute short. Let me double check. Yeah. Let me see, where is it? I got so much going on here. You're going to get one of the shorts. You're either going to get the Thunderbird 1 minute short or the 5. I don't think I have the 5. You're probably going to get the Thunderbird 1 minute short. So that's your short side. So we'll let that run also. And we're going to run it on the same thing. So I'm going to go to that some 5. I'm going to just run it. I'm going to apply that. Now that's running, so we have 2 scripts now running on that, and that's the long and short. You're also going to get I believe it's called I have 2 other ones here. I believe it's called, it's a quad rotation, whatever the quad rotation script is. That's the right one. I don't know if it was the 61 or the 23 that I uploaded. I could look in a second, but I have it all zipped up. But it's one of the 2. I just don't remember offhand. Let me double check this. Quad rotation. I believe it was the 60 because I want to activate it right now. I think this one's going to give us the blue bar. Next, I'm also going to be able to trade from it. But right now, I'm using it as an indicator.
Order filled. Order canceled. Order canceled.
And again, I'm using it as an indicator with no buy triggers, but it's going to trigger a dark blue line, and it's going to make an announcement that it's a quad rotation. So let's put that on there, and then apply that. And then let's take a look at what we got here. So there we have it. So we have everything running here. We got longs and shorts. And you can look at you can tell these are great areas to be in. Because look at this big move up. Even this little move up here was a good move up. Every little dip. Now we could zoom in. I'm trying to look to see just an overview of everything. I'm sure if we get in there, it could get very choppy too. But I wanted to show you the what do you call it, the quad rotation. So this is what the quad rotation is going to do. It's going to point out those, and I'm going to give you a little hint on this. The quad rotation is, it could be faster, but instead of being faster, I sacrificed a little speed to be a little safer. So I'm waiting for a rotation. Typically, I'm getting in when I have that quad rotation where all 4 of them, in this case, even though you're only seeing 3, all 4 of them get into a position where we're oversold. Now, I wanted to have a couple candles trending in the right direction before that. So that's why, we need a couple positive candles, even though that might not be the bottom. It might be two or 3 candles past the bottom, just to give us a little momentum. Because instead of, trading something down and down and down and down, I want to at least get a little momentum, and that's why it could probably come in here, but instead it's coming in a couple candles later, because it takes 2 to confirm. And that the same thing here. Probably would have confirmed here, but I need another candle, and then something happened. Anyway, so still you can see The momentum is on your side, and that's the important part, momentum in these trades. Look at that. Look at that nice setup there. And sometimes we'll get the divergence and a quad rotation happen in the whole, the perfect area. This is even a 5. Look at the low, the higher low. Even though this wasn't maybe not lower than this, you could see this was a good zone. Another important, one of my favorite trades, a quad rotation divergence. Meaning we get a quad rotation and you get a fast little divergence right on that. And it's almost here on the 9-3. Not bad. I mean, you can see good entries. Again, the hardest part in trading is getting through the chop. Please practice with the 5 minute. 5 minutes stronger than the 1 minute. Every market's a little bit different, so the parameters should always be changing. Usually trade with the market, not against it. And if you're going to trade against it, counter trend it, your profits should be tighter. I got a new script coming out. It's going to help a lot. It's going to take profits on the first rotation of the 20, which I think would be an exit strategy, especially against, if this thing triggers, we can have a little safety area that we trigger it in a downward moving market, get out on the first bounce. It would be more of an automated trade, less chance of follow through if you do get a bottom, but it'll definitely give you more trades in a downward trend, faster trades. But I'm happy with the alert system here that this has given us. I mean, you can see how it's off just a couple candles, just a couple candles, just a couple candles. I might want to kind of speed it up. That kind of bothers me that we're kind of off just a couple candles because of my safety reasons. Instead of catching a falling knife and getting oversold, but staying oversold and staying oversold, this requires a little momentum, and that little momentum has proven right so far. All right, so that's it. Hopefully we could get you started on the tradeometer and get everything up and running for you. I'll follow up with a video if you ask me any questions. I have no problem. I'm sorry sometimes we don't connect right away, but believe me, Paul's updated me saying that did a good job and let me know that you're still out there, and I appreciate you letting me get some time with my family. I was out in Hawaii, so I couldn't really do much out there. So we'll get it fixed this week. Have a great one, you too, and I'll talk to you soon.